magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tarot and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at the goddess qualities you embody. So often, we sometimes forget the goddess qualities within us. We sometimes forget what makes us beautiful, what makes us shine. So this reading is to show you those traits that you embody to get you to see that within yourself. Okay, so I'm going to show you your crystals for each pile, but please note this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest, as the messages may differ for everyone watching. I'm now going to show you. So for pile 1, we have Carnelian. And I kind of chose to keep the cards a little bit mysterious today, where you just pick with the crystals. For pile 2, we have Goldstone. And for pile number 3, we have honey calcite. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, but of course, if you are drawn to more than one pile, you're more than welcome to choose and trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I will see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number ones. If you chose this Carnelian crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the goddess qualities you embody. So when I'm looking at this reading, I'm first going to be taking a look at the goddesses you have an energetic frequency that is similar to theirs, like what goddesses you are very similar to in your energy. And then I'm going to be taking a look at the traits and qualities you have that make you a goddess and make you just shine in your goddess qualities. And lastly, I'm going to be taking a look at, if you were a goddess, what type of goddess would you be? So this is just a fun, light-hearted reading to bring out those traits in you and show you what makes you a goddess today. Okay, so you chose the card Iset with surrender. She's also known as Isis. She is an Egyptian goddess, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to pull some more cards and just get some more information on what I see here. So these are one of the goddess cards, but I'm also going to pull some oracle cards, like some normal oracle cards. So the goddess traits and qualities my pile number ones embody, please, spirit guides of pile 1. The goddess qualities and traits that my pile number ones embody, please. We have solitude, so what are the goddess traits and qualities my pile number ones embody? Spirit guides of my pile number ones, please. We have called with soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. I love this card for you. So what I'm feeling from your energy so far is what makes you a goddess, my pile number ones, is your sweetness. I feel you're very, very loving souls, and there's this certain type of sweetness to you. Like, I feel like if you were to be a goddess, you would be a goddess that has like a lot of fruit around her, a lot of sweet scents, a lot of sweet, delicious things in her life. And she would give people a lot of sweet, delicious things. Does that make sense? Or maybe you'd smell sweet and delicious, or you just have this sweet energy to you, if that makes sense. And I'm just seeing you embody this feeling of love. So maybe you would be the type of goddess that would be like a love goddess or something along those lines. And that's something I see here and I'm picking up on. Maybe you'd also be a goddess that would embody this type of energy that gives people gifts. Like, I'm seeing a fairy godmother. You know how the fairy godmother was like that for Cinderella, but instead of you giving people like an outfit and things like that, maybe you would give them actual spiritual gifts in some way, because I feel you, my pal number ones, are very, very gifted people. You have some soul gifts and you have really strong intuition. I'm picking up on some of you, whereas some of you have healing gifts. So I see that. And the funny thing is, Isis is also a goddess of healing and magic. So you would be a goddess like fairy godmother that brings magic into people's lives and shows them, the positive, beautiful things in their life that, we should enjoy and take pleasure in. So you'd maybe even be a goddess of pleasure, of enjoyment, of that kind of energy. I feel you'd be the type of goddess that would spread a lot of joy to everyone, and that's something I see. If the messages are kind of mixed up, I guess maybe it's in the way I'm picking it up, like as I go along. So let me just pull some more little oracle cards to see if there are any other goddesses here that you are similar to in your energetic frequency. I'm also looking at this image here and all the roses. And I'm hearing that song by Kali Uchis, I Wish You Roses, as I look at these roses. And to me, romance remind me of beauty, love, devotion. I feel like you would be almost like a goddess that gives love and devotion and teaches people to come back to love, because I'm even seeing like this on the walls here. It looks like spiritual teachings to me if I had to convey the message like this. And I feel like you'd be a goddess that teaches people some kind of spiritual knowledge through intuition. And I feel like you'd work with people if you were a goddess, and you'd show people a little bit into their intuition with the eye here, and you'd maybe even protect people. And that's the feeling I get here, even with the 44. You'd be a very protective goddess. And I feel like some of you would be the type of goddess that would protect, women, children, animals, because we see a child here. So I feel like some of you just have really big hearts, and you'd also be like that goddess of love or devotion. So what energetic frequency is my pile number one similar to on a goddess level? We have green Tara with start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. If I'm not mistaken, she is also a healing goddess, so that's quite interesting. What goddess would my pile number ones be on an energetic level? What goddess are they similar to on an energetic level? We have Maeve with cycles and rhythms. If I'm not pronouncing it right, please correct me. We have honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. And we have Bast with independence. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So I feel here, I was not intending to pull 3, but yours took 3. So I feel here, we have 2 different Egyptian goddesses here, which is so interesting. Maybe some of you connect to Egypt on a soul level. Maybe some of you have had past lives there, or you live there. That's something I see there. So I'm first looking at Isis. So they call her a great mother, and it's so interesting that I said I feel like you'd protect women and children and animals. We see little lion cubs there, so that's quite interesting. And she was the goddess of healing and magic, and here we also have a goddess of healing. So you would definitely have that energetic similarity of being like a healing goddess, spreading healing wherever you go. I feel like it's your love that's healing. And I also feel like you have this luxurious energy or aspect to you looking at this card, because like look at the furniture she's on. Look at the clothes she's wearing. It's like, it looks so silky and smooth and gentle and soft. And I feel like that's your energy, and that's how you make people around you feel. And I feel like if people had to look at you as a goddess, they would see all these qualities and traits and literally worship you for these. but not worship you, because I feel like you wouldn't even want to be worshipped. I feel like you'd want to be companions with people and connect with people on a really deep soul level with your heart. And I feel like that's also what makes you a goddess, because I feel like if I said that to you, you'd maybe be like, who, me? Worshipped? Like, I don't know. I just feel that feeling like you're not, um, maybe even seeing yourself that way as being worshipped. You want to create companionship with people and really connect on a deep heart to heart level. And that's something I see. So if you were a goddess on earth, that's something I'd see people would really look up to you for. So I'm reading here about Isis. I'm just reading as I go along. So she is apparently a ruler of the underworld, and she was in love with another god even in the womb. She was also the mother of Horus, which was a protector of the pharaoh. And I'm seeing here she had many different powers. So she protected women and she brought magic. So that's so interesting. And later she was transformed into the queen of the universe and the embodiment of the cosmic order. She was believed to control the power of fate itself. That is so interesting. As I read that, I feel like you would be that energy if you were considered a goddess on earth. And I feel like Isis has two different sides to her. She has a duality to her. You know what I mean? And I feel like you have that too, but you embody the state of love. I feel if you were a goddess, you would merely embrace this state of love, but spreading magic with that love, if that makes sense, because that love is cosmic. And I feel like you would definitely be a love or beauty goddess too, if you were considered a goddess on earth. But maybe even a goddess of wealth and riches with the luxurious aspect here. I feel like you would give off these qualities that just make people, loyal to you. That's something I see because you just have this very trustworthy presence. And I feel, if people were to look at you as a goddess, they would very much see that motherly, nurturing energy you have, that caring, sweet energy you have. And that's literally what makes you a goddess, my pal number ones. And I feel you would be the type of goddess that would, show people themselves and show them to be courageously themselves and not to hide themselves and to open up, because I'm looking at these roses open up. And I said I heard that song by Kali Uchis, I Wish You Roses. So I feel like you'd also be a goddess that would, and what makes you a goddess is you teach or you show people unconditional love through you being you. And that is seen by others more than you know. So that's something I see here. And I just feel like you'd spread love wherever you go. And that's what literally makes you a goddess. And you're so, so, so intuitive. I feel like you really connect to the universe on a deep level. And I feel like some of you could even be tarot readers, and I feel like you've come to a state where you have enough self-love for yourself, so maybe you'd even be a goddess because you embody these traits of self-love, but also you have that balance for love for yourself, but also love for others. So maybe you'd also be a goddess of self-love, but also love in general, unconditional love, not just romantic love, like this devoted type of love. That's something I see. And I think you bring change to a lot of people's lives. I don't think you realize it, because there's things you say that are just so intuitive and it's magical when you give them that love, and you have no idea how it brings change into people's hearts. Like, the reason you are a goddess is because of your heart, because you're such a beautiful soul. And I think you see the potential in others they don't even see in themselves. I feel like you have this energy where even if people hurt you, you'd still wish them well. You'd still send them love from afar, but be like, you can do that. I love you, but not to me. So you have this side to you that is sweet and loving, but also this duality that is like, I love you, but you're not going to treat me like that, you know? So that's something I see, and that's what makes you a goddess. And I also feel like you just have this gratitude for life, even the painful memories. And I feel like you'd be the type of goddess that would sit alone or like your alone time, because sometimes it takes time to recharge after dealing with a lot of people. So I feel like you'd be that type of goddess that has like strict boundaries if people were worshiping you or giving you offerings and be like, oh, you can only do this once a week because I need my me time. Like that type of energy. That's a message for some of you. And what makes you a goddess is your ability to connect to your feelings on such a deep level, on your ability to connect to your heart on such a deep level, but also to stand out in the world in your sense of truth and be yourself in the world. And it's like you've developed enough confidence and self love in yourself that even if people don't like that, you're like hopeful that the right people will come across you and love you for you. And that's something I see, and that's what makes you a goddess. And I feel like you also, with the cycles and rhythms card, you connect to your feelings on a really, really deep level. And I feel like you'd be the type of goddess that would teach people to heal their feelings, even with Green Tara here, you know. You teach people to heal their feelings and to feel them and to have awareness and understand them and find wisdom from them. So I feel like some of you just, when you communicate to people, is just full of love, and that is healing as well. And I feel like your presence is just healing, and that's the kind of goddess you are, just this healing type of loving, unconditional love, devoted goddess, if that makes sense. I'm also seeing if you were a goddess, you would be the type of goddess that just brings people a lot of positivity and optimism, because I'm seeing this yellow here and it's reminding me of the solar plexus energies, which is why I said self-worth and self-love and things like that, because I feel like you've had to, turn away from people that were just creating problems within your emotions in order to protect your peace. And that takes a lot of self love. It takes a lot of self worth to make a decision like that for ourselves, even if we love that person deeply. So that's something I see here as well. Like you have gained this sort of independence in yourself, the self love, the self confidence, and you're still building that within you. But as you build that, you also build courage to be yourself in the world and basically show yourself to the world because you deserve to be seen. And that's something I see that makes you a goddess. And I feel like what makes you a goddess is you have this inner and outer external beauty, but also on the inside. And it's like, I feel your energy is very sweet. Like, I feel like I'm biting into a chocolate, but maybe not a chocolate, like, maybe not a chocolate, like a sweet cake or something. And it has like vanilla, and then it has strawberries, and then it has like chocolate, it has all the flavors, and it's just really sweet. Or I'm seeing like, or tasting like something that like is mushy inside. This is sounding weird, but I don't know what sweet it is. It's like pink and mushy on the inside, and then there's another color on the outside. I don't know. I feel like you'd be really, really sweet. Maybe be even a goddess that gives people sweets, or gives people, or shows people like, or blesses them with like the pleasurable things of life, like the fun things in life. I feel like you have that free spirited, positive energy. And with the yellow, I feel like it's the sunshine energy you bring people. Even the carnelian crystal is about this type of energy of confidence and, stepping into that sensual energy as well. Carnelian is a very sacral chakra crystal, which is our sensuality and our confidence in self, belief in self, you know what I mean? And I think if you could see yourself through how other people saw you with all this unconditional love, you would literally consider yourself a goddess and you wouldn't even question it. But I think because you're so loving and because you're not, I feel like you're humble, if that makes sense. You're not like thinking of yourself in that way, but you've also been building your self-worth, and that's what makes you a goddess, because I think it takes a lot of courage to do that. I feel like you'd be the type of goddess that would bring people magical things or bring people miracles that are magical, or good luck that is magical and just makes you feel like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? I feel like you'd really spoil people like that if you were a goddess. And I feel like the messages are coming through in a whole way, like all of them at once. So maybe I'm not doing it in parts, maybe spirit wants me to do it like this. But I feel like what also makes you a goddess is you just have this ability to really connect with people on a deep emotional level, but you also have this type of beauty in your goddess-like features. It's like you almost put people under this love spell with the goddess of magic, Isis, showing up. It's like you sometimes put people under a love spell without realizing. And it's not intentional and it's not a real love spell, but it's like your energy just makes people feel like they're in love, not just in a romantic sense. I feel like you naturally have this effect on people where they start to really look at you like so dreamy, and it feels like they're in another world, if that makes sense. And that's something I see here as well. So I'll just see how I do this reading as I go along, since they're a little bit jumbled, the messages, but I want to look at Green Tara and Boss and Maeve and just see like short, quick descriptions of them. So Green Tara is believed to be incarnated as the Nepali princess. If I'm pronouncing any names wrong, please correct me. She is considered by some to be the original Tara, one of the self-born Buddhas. Okay. She has an unconditional guide and protector whose purpose is to help all sentient beings find liberation from the churn of suffering. And she sits on a lotus, holding a blue flower in her right hand. Wow. She's a very compassionate goddess, very healing, and I feel like she brings people back to love, unconditional love. I feel like she brings people back to this sense of peace, and I feel like you have an energetic frequency that is very similar to that. Okay, and then the other one. So she is a goddess of love and fertility and war and death. She is the essence of power, promise, and abundance on earth. So that's so interesting because I felt like you have this duality type of energy to you, and that's so interesting, okay? And she's also very powerful, like that's so cool. So Bastet is also an Egyptian goddess, but she is a goddess of the home, domesticity, women's secrets, cats, fertility, and childbirth. She protected the home from evil spirits and disease, especially diseases associated with women and children. Did I not say you would protect women and children? That's so interesting. And I'm feeling like you would even protect women's homes and protect them from diseases like that if you were a goddess. Maybe you are someone that really believes in women's rights, or you're one of those, if you consider yourself a woman, you're one of those people that just kind of like stick up for other women, and you believe in like really we should have each other's backs as a community. Some of you are like that, and that makes you a goddess. And I also feel like you'd be the type of goddess that brings, happiness into people's homes, brings fertility, brings childbirth, blesses people's babies with this bright light, unconditional love for the rest of their life, with a happy life kind of energy. So that's something I see here. I'd even feel like you'd heal relationships, like people's relationships and things like that, if you were a goddess. So can I please look into my pile number ones and what traits and qualities they embody that make them a goddess? So we have the star. You shine brightly, my pile ones. You really do. Internally and externally, you have a lot of light to you. We have the King of Pentacles. I feel like you'd bring people money and wealth as well, like I said. But with the King of Pentacles, what I feel here is what makes you a goddess is your ability to balance your duality. With the star, but also the King of Pentacles, I feel like you're very balanced in your masculine, but also feminine energy. And I feel like there's a sense of duality with you where you're comfortable with both sides. And I feel like you can take action towards your goals and wherever you want to be in life. And, I feel like if you were a goddess, you'd bring people a lot of wealth, a lot of love, a lot of light and protection. But at the same time, you teach women to hone in on both energies. The feminine is intuition, our emotions, our cycles, and the masculine is action and, that kind of energy. So I feel like you teach people both how to hone in on both energies and balance ourselves out. I also feel like you'd be a goddess of balance. Like I'm seeing the Libra scales. So what goddess traits and qualities do my pile ones embody? We have the sun. What makes you a goddess, my pile ones, Nine of Wands, is your ability to spread happiness and joy even in the midst of challenges, even in the midst of, really hectic things that are happening in our lives. I feel like you're just making me feel like if I was your friend, I would want you as a friend around, because I feel like if I was going through a really, excuse my language, shitty day, I feel like you'd be the first one I would call, and I wouldn't even need to vent or complain to you. I feel like your light, your happiness, your positivity, your joy, that joyful presence you have would just light up my day, that I wouldn't even think about my problems anymore. I feel like you'd be the type of friend, if I was your friend, to make me smile even when I was crying. I don't know why I'm picking up on that quality, but it's like you're just really fun to be around. You just really have this positive energy. And that's what makes you a goddess, because you bring people like the sunshine energy, the star energy, magical energy during their dark moments, and that's what makes you a goddess, my pal ones. But you're also really grounded, but also connected to the intuitive realms. So you have like two sides to you. That's something I keep seeing. Some of you are Geminis. Some of you are Leos. Some of you are Aquariuses. Some of you have water placements with all the healing energies. Yeah. So we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like what makes you a goddess, my pal number ones, is your ability to give love unconditionally. Like I said, it's like you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I feel like you're easily able to be emotionally vulnerable with people and connect to people on a deep, loving level. And I feel like that's literally what makes you a goddess. What makes my pile number ones a goddess? We have the Two of Cups. You're extremely romantic with the Two of Cups, but also I feel like it's not just romance, it's love. I feel like you just embody the quality of love. That's it. You're literally a love goddess in human form. And I just feel like with these angel wings here, you have this angelic presence to you as well, but you're also comfortable with your duality. And the snakes here represent transformation, but also this symbol is seen as a healing symbol. So same message of healing keeps coming up. And the lion is, our courage, our strength. Some of you are Leos or fire signs for sure, or you have Leo placements, or maybe you just give off that energy of being bold, being confident, and you inspire other women to do the same. That's something I see if you consider yourself a woman. But I'm just seeing like you embody this energy of love, and that's what makes you a goddess. And if you had to see yourself the way other people see you, how you bring in such calmness, how you bring in such joy into people's lives, you would literally see yourself as this. So, what was my question again? Oh, so for my pile number ones, if they were a goddess, what type of goddess would they be? We have the Three of Pentacles. I feel like you would help people in some way with the Three of Pentacles, help them come up with a plan for their life, or you would plan cute little things for them. Like if you were a goddess and people were worshiping you or working with you, I feel like you teach them, like I said earlier, intuitively, and you teach them maybe about healing and esoterics, but also unconditional love and how to come back to that. I feel like you'd be the type of goddess that would be like a guide to others, and almost like a friend and companion, but also a guide. And that's something I see here. And I feel like you'd bring people like little gifts along the way, like, ooh, I'm seeing, what is it called? Oprah, when she goes, you get a laptop, you get this, you get this. I feel like you'd be that type of goddess. So we have the Well card. I feel like you'd be a goddess with a lot of deep depths, a lot of deep stories behind your name. And it's not just one side to you. It's like, I feel like if I had to research you and you were a goddess, I would literally go down rabbit holes to try and get information on you. I would be so intrigued by you. I would literally want to do readings on you to understand more about you. And that's something I see here. And maybe you'd even teach people really deep things that they feel it in their soul, or teach people this deep love or unconditional love based on the stories they read about you. Stuff like that. That's something I see. We have the Four of Cups, green Tara energy of like bringing people peace, showing people how to come back to their inner peace. That's something I see. What type of goddess would my pile number one be if they had to be one? We have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups to me, in this context, I feel like you'd bring people celebrations, miracles, like just things they'd get so excited about. Like, I feel like if you were a goddess, you'd literally be a guide to certain people, especially maybe people that you are emotionally attached to, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you'd literally bring them surprise gifts that would make them so excited that they never expected. And that's the kind of goddess you would be. That's something I see here. But also protector of women and children, bringing women's rights back, because I'm looking at these three women here. And bringing women back to friendship as well. That's a huge thing. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I wonder if there are goddesses out there that do that. But I feel like if you were a goddess with all the threes here, I also feel like you'd embody something similar to, what's her name again? I'm trying to think now. Hecate, because she has the mother, the maiden, and the crone. Well, the maiden, the mother, the crone, something like that, which is basically the three parts of us from young adulthood to our older years. And I feel like you'd maybe be that type of goddess that would have duality to you, that would show people the different sides of us, that there isn't just one side of us, like a very multi-dimensional goddess. So this is really interesting. I love your reading. One more card for the type of goddess they would be. We have the Empress, beauty, love, Venusian energies. I really feel like you'd grant people with beauty, like people that would worship you or people that would um, pray to you or leave you offerings. I feel like they'd bring you really sweet things like sweets, chocolates, really beautiful aesthetic things, and you'd give them back something really sweet, like maybe love, maybe you'd give them beauty, things like that, almost like an Aphrodite energy. Like maybe I could even say you have a similar energy frequency to Aphrodite. Um, yeah, I just feel like you'd be a love goddess. But I don't really feel Aphrodite maybe, because I feel your love goddess vibe is different from hers. Because I feel yours is more like this unconditional love type of energy, but also beauty, but also like fun, if that makes sense. Not just like sexual pleasure, but like fun things. And I feel like you'd bring people holidays and things like that, and fun things that they can get excited about. And that's the feeling I get from you, my pile number one. So I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this Goldstone crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the goddess qualities you embody. So this reading may be mixed up in three parts, where I look at the goddesses you have similarities to with your energy frequency, the goddess energies you're just similar to. And then I'm going to be taking a look at what makes you a goddess, the qualities and traits you have that makes you a goddess. And then I'm going to be looking at, if you were a goddess, what type of goddess you would be. So this is just a fun, lighthearted reading. You chose the card Queen of Sheba with Secrets Revealed. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of your oracle cards first, and let's see what shows up. In pile one, they were a little bit mixed together. So if it is like that in this reading, I'm just taking the information as it comes through. So let's see what shows up for you. So spirit guides of pile number twos, may I please look into the goddess qualities my pile number twos embody. We have gentleness, and we see a merman here. So some of you could be men here. Then this would be the god quality you embody. We do have an extra card here with support, so I'm just going to put this here for now. Okay, so spirit guides on my pile number twos. The goddess qualities my pile number twos embody, please. We have I remember with soul plan the fated life versus the destiny life. We have an extra card wanting to come out. We have Earth School with life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. Okay, my pile twos. I feel like you are my pile of people that have been through a lot in your life, and if I say certain things here, these are what your spirit guides see in you that make you a goddess or make you a god. If you resonate with that, I just feel you have such a beautiful soul, and they want you to see these qualities that they see in you. Okay, you may not necessarily see these in yourself. I feel like some of you have been through things in your life that have maybe not let you see the beauty within yourself how others do. And I feel like with secrets revealed here, the secret revealed today is that you are a goddess that embodies queen energy, or you are a god that embodies king energy, and you have this energy to you that shines out so much, more than you would ever know. And the only way you would maybe even be able to see how much your spirit guides are emphasizing this is if you were to see yourself through the eyes of others, and through the memories of others, and through maybe things other people say about you. Because I feel maybe the things I say today are things you might not even see in yourself, but things other people see in you, and things other people say about you that makes you a goddess. okay? And that is the secret here that is revealed, that you are a queen, that you are a king, and that is the type of god or goddess you are. I feel like some of you have had people project onto you, project their own insecurities onto you, and I feel like some of you have just gone through a lot in your life that maybe it's like I feel maybe you've needed to feel safe around people because certain people didn't treat you correctly and they didn't treat you with the love that you deserved. And I just feel here you don't realize how much joy you bring out to others. You don't realize how worthy you are of all the love in the world. You don't realize how worthy you are of even being saying, of me even saying you are a goddess or a god. And it's like, you're worthy of all of that. You're worthy of compliments. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of feeling safe. You're worthy of feeling unconditional love. And I think that's just a message here from your ancestors and from your guides and your angels that you literally are, and there's nothing maybe they could say that could make you see it, but it's like when you see yourself maybe through other people's eyes, then maybe you would start to understand what they mean. So I just feel your guides had to say that message, but I feel like you are someone that really stands out my pile number twos. I mean, you literally picked the Goldstone. I feel like your goddess energy is shiny. It's like, look at me, but you're not even trying to make people look at you. And I think that's maybe something you may not even see. Or you may see people staring and looking at you a lot, but you may not know why. And I feel like it's your aura. It's everything about you. It's your beauty, because you have this beauty of you that is like shiny, like this crystal. And it's not just this inner and outer beauty, it's like everything about you. I mean, I'm even looking here at the sunset energy and all the shimmers here. I feel like you have that type of energy. And I feel like you're someone that really stands out in a way that you may not even see yourself. I feel like people automatically assume that you are confident in yourself because of the way you stand out, and maybe people that have projected onto you in the past and made you not see that about yourself were really just jealous of how shimmery and shiny you are. Like, that's the message I keep getting. You have queen, king energy, and you may not even see that in yourself yet. But this is what makes you a goddess or god. And I also feel like you are someone that just brings a lot of joy to everyone around you. You're such a fun person to be around, and that's something I see very clearly, but you're also someone that lives in your truth. You're very authentic to yourself, and I'm hearing that song by Erica Badu where I can't remember what song it was, but there was a line, and I want to grow, and I always want to grow, something like that. So I feel like you're always growing, you're always blossoming and blooming into the best version of yourself, and that also makes you a goddess, my pal number twos. It makes your personality shine out. It just makes you you, and that's so beautiful. And I feel like, maybe the things people have said to you, I'm seeing you take an eraser and just imagine your brain as a board that people have written on. And you're taking that eraser and you're raising those things off and you're saying different things to yourself. Maybe that's a message from your spirit guides to maybe help you see the goddess qualities and traits you have. Not just me say it to you, but for you to believe it truly in your heart and to resonate with it and to be like, yes, that's me. I'm seeing you like erase things people have said to you and write new things on that board in your brain. Like, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm strong, things like that. And that's literally what makes you a goddess. You have all those qualities in you, but I think I'm kind of getting this analogy that you are like a peacock with many different colors on you, and you shine out to the world in a very beautiful way. But then all your colors are just so beautiful, like I can't even explain it. You have different rainbow colors on you, and people are looking at your feathers And then people start telling you that you're a chicken, and you start believing that you're a chicken, but you're really a peacock. Do you get what I mean? And like when people tell you about your colors and are like, look at your colors, look at them, they're so beautiful. But not only your colors, the feathers on your colors, like they're so, so, so beautiful. How can you not see them? And that's the feeling I'm getting from your spirit guides. Like, you have so many goddess qualities and traits, and you're someone like a peacock that just stands out. But maybe people have made you feel like it's not, or like you should push down parts of yourself. But you shouldn't, my pal twos. You should let that shine out, because that's what makes you you, and that's what makes you beautiful. I'm not sure exactly what these qualities are, but I'm seeing you've been growing, you've been leveling up in your life. You're someone that is always growing. And I feel like sometimes maybe even people are jealous of that. But you're also someone with a lot of beauty externally and internally. And it's like that peacock analogy. Your beauty stands out, and a lot of people notice that. And you have this regal, luxurious energy to you, because Queen of Sheba was even this wealthy, wealthy queen, So I feel you have that energy to you, and it's just about seeing it yourself. And as you go through this rebirth of yourself, I feel you're going to liberate yourself from things other people have said to you, and see the truth of who you really are. I'm seeing you look into a mirror with no distorted images of what other people have said to you, and seeing something very different smiling back at you with love. And the feeling I get here is like, I'm seeing you look into a mirror and yourself look back at you, but your perception of self change. So I don't know why Spirit is bringing through the healing messages in this way. Maybe you need these healing messages today. So yeah, I feel like your guides are saying they support you. Because I feel like you've been going really deep into your emotions. And your guides are saying they're supporting you. They accept you as you are, and they recognize the beauty within you. Can you recognize it within yourself? And can you remember who you are? Remember that you're a queen, a king. That's the feeling I get here from your pile. So I'm going to pull some more oracle cards about the goddesses that you are similar to, and see what else they have to say about the traits and qualities you have that make you a goddess, and then the type of goddess you would be if you were a goddess. So if you have made it this far into the reading, and if you have forgotten to subscribe, can you please do me a favor? If you enjoy my content and my readings, please hit the subscribe button, as it helps my channel grow and find new audiences. So what goddesses are my pile number twos on an energetic frequency similar to? We have Cordelia with Go Outside. You have been indoors for too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. We have Rhiannon with Sorceress. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. At the back of the deck, we have Aphrodite with Inner Goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dawn self-care and appreciating your divinity. So I feel like you have a lot of external beauty that you may not even see, but I also feel like the beauty is your heart. You have this very divine, rich, luxurious, but also regal quality to you, like queen, king vibes. But it's also what makes you a goddess is you being able to connect to your heart in such a deep level. Because I feel like you really love people at a big place, and whoever loves you begins to transform when they're around you. Because you're someone that is always ever growing. It's like you bring that to others, and you have no idea how much beauty you bring to the world. And that's why Aphrodite's coming up, but also how much love you bring to the world. I feel this is my pile of sensitive souls, people that feel things on a very deep level. And your gentleness is what makes you a goddess, my pile number one, my pile two, sorry. And you have this gentle power within you, this gentle strength within you that maybe you don't even see fully or fathom yet. But it's your gentleness that makes you strong. That's your superpower. And that's what makes you a goddess. But I also feel like you have this richness within your soul, this richness of an abundance of love, joy, happiness, unconditional love, all those things, like all the things we love. I feel like you have an abundance of that in you. And I'm also seeing some of you are really, really intuitive, and you're learning to stand out more. You're learning to let yourself shine out more to the world. With the go outside card, I'm feeling some of you maybe have gone through a period of your life right now where you are reconnecting with yourself. But it's also important to see the outside world when you have been healing so much within yourself. Sometimes I'm seeing like this as a message from your guides. Sometimes when we do things for ourselves that make us happy, we can even feel like a goddess. We can start to feel beautiful. We can start to see us shine and radiate and glow from the inside out. What makes you feel that way? And it's not saying, you have to do this, but like what makes you feel that way? Does self-care make you feel that way? Does dancing make you feel that way? Does exercise make you feel that way? Does baking, cooking make you feel that way? Makeup, doing your nails, doing your hair? What makes you feel beautiful? Do more of that. That's the message I see there. Because then when you go outside, it's not like, oh, I need to put on makeup to look beautiful. It's like that glow you have on the inside is radiating out of you and you don't even need anything. I'm hearing your spirit guides joke around. You could wear a trash bag and still shine out, and people would be like, where did you get that? Like, that's the type of vibe I feel from you, my pal, number twos. And it's not just an external beauty, but an inner beauty. I feel like you have this very divine quality to you. And I'm feeling like a lot of solar plexus energy is healing within you right now. But with Cordelia showing up, I want to just research this goddess. But I feel like I said, you have energy that is similar to Aphrodite in terms of your energy frequency. But I feel like you'd be a goddess of love, of beauty, but like not just love and beauty. It would be like this type of energy of finding the self-love within us after going through painful moments that didn't allow us to see our worth, and rebuilding it like from the ground up. And I feel like you would teach other women or people how to connect to that, especially when it's been broken, and rebuild that, and that's something I see there. It's not just like love, romantic love and beauty. It's like finding that beauty within you, finding that strength within you. So Cordelia is the beautiful goddess of spring and summer flowers and of flower fairies. Shakespeare portrayed Cordelia as the daughter of the king. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And we also have queen here. I feel like you'd literally be a princess goddess or a queen goddess, like literally, or a prince god or a king god, like that type of energy. And I feel like you'd be the type of goddess that would spread like springtime flowers. I'm hearing that song, sunshine, lollipops and rainbows. So I feel like you'd throw little flowers like that. You'd have fairies flying around you. You'd have unicorns around you. You'd bring this magical type of energy here as a goddess with the sorceress card. And that is what makes you a goddess, because you you have this magical side to you. You have this very divine quality to you, but at the same time, very fairy-like mermaid, fairy tale kind of quality to you, where you take people to another world. And that is what makes you a goddess, because you just have this magical energy within your heart that you just shine out to the world. And that's something I see. I definitely feel a lot of solar plexus healing is happening right now. And I feel like you'd be that type of goddess that is supportive towards others, that shows others the way in a gentle but powerful way of finding that self-love, but also appreciating the magical side of life we sometimes forget. And I feel like that's what makes you a goddess. Let's look at Rhiannon and see what she is like. So I'm just going to take these away. Rhiannon has the power to grant dreams, including her own and others, and she can also use her songbirds to sing humans to sleep and to awaken souls in the underworld. Rhiannon is a fertility goddess as well as associated with rebirth. So yeah, that's what makes you a goddess, your ability to rebirth yourself countless times. And I feel like that's your goddess quality, because it's like you can take people to the underworld of their feelings and their emotions, but do it in such a fairy-like way where they won't even feel scared of their darkness, of their insecurities, of the things in them that they've never felt were beautiful. And I feel like that's the type of goddess you would be. You'd maybe bring them to the depths of the underworld, but make it seem like an adventure. Does that make sense? And make it seem magical in some way where they're not scared of it. I feel like you'd have that type of goddess energy that would make people feel safe, and that's the type of goddess you would be. But I also feel like you have this dreamy, ethereal quality to you that makes you a goddess. And I feel like that rebirth energy is strong here. But fertility as well, but not in the sense of like maybe creation. I wouldn't feel like in the sense of sexuality too much, more so creation, but I guess you can take it as it resonates. I feel like you'd create on Earth. If you had like magical powers as a goddess, you would create like flowers there, you would create unicorns, you would create butterflies. Does that make sense? So that's something I see. I think you'd like teach people about manifestation and how to grow plants and how to sing. Like I'm seeing Cinderella sing and then the birds start helping her. I feel like those are your goddess qualities. So spirit guides of pile 2. What are my pile 2's goddess qualities? We have the Fool card. Your optimism is what makes you a goddess. Your optimism for life. You have this very fun, adventurous quality to you, but you also unlock new doors to new beginnings in some way. You make people forget the old, the past, and bring them to new memories that make it seem like the sun is rising again. And even with the sunset energy, I feel like that's the energy you bring into others. And that is your goddess quality. That's what makes you a goddess. So what is the goddess qualities of my pile number 2's? We have the Judgment card. I feel like you have a goddess quality of being like a guide to others on earth. I feel like your close relationships around you. I feel like you guide everyone. And it's no judgment, it's all love. I'm looking at these flowers here with the skulls on them. And I'm feeling like you bring rebirth to those around you. And it's almost like you kiss the wounds of them away and pull out the dead flowers and grow new flowers in them, in their soul. And that's something I see here. Metaphorically, it's like you make people forget about what has hurt them in the past. You bring people back to that sunset, sunshine energy, like the sun is rising again. And when you remember who you are and how others see you in this sense, maybe you'd start seeing yourself this way too. So we have the Four of Wands. I feel like what makes you a goddess, your goddess energy, is you are so, so, so celebrated by others. You have no idea how much love others have for you, how much like others talk about you with secrets revealed in a good way, right opposite the Four of Wands. Like, if you had to hear the things people said about you, you would literally see yourself as a goddess. So what are the things people have said about my pile twos? I'm hearing electric. Like your energy is electric. I'm also seeing a calendar, and like people say, I want to spend all day, every day with my pile number twos because they're so much fun to bring up, to bring around to things, to have at events, to be at places. Like you're so much fun to be around. Maybe people even say things like, pile number twos, they're so magical. They make me feel like I'm almost like in another world. Or pile number twos, they bring me so much joy. Pile number twos, they're so shiny, like things like that. Pile number twos, I literally get obsessed with them and want to, not in a bad way, I literally get obsessed with them and want to spend all day, all night with them because their energy is just so delicious and so, like, I just want to spend time with them all day. And I don't know why. I just do. Like, I like them. I like the energy. Like, that's what I feel people would say about you. Or, oh, my pal number twos, they're so, so, so dreamy. They have this magical quality to them. And they make me almost like feel like I'm escaping from Earth and I'm in another realm where there's fairies, where there's unicorns, where there's all of this. And I'm no longer just in normal Earth world. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing here. What else would people say about pile twos? They're showing me a canvas. So some of you are creative and a hairbrush. Some people say, oh, my pile number twos, their hair is so beautiful. And people are showing me headphones. Spirit guides are showing me headphones. So maybe people say that you have really amazing music style. Some of you create music. Some of you are creative. And some of you are just creative in your fashion style. Or you make some kind of statement. And that's what people say about you when you're not around. They give lots of positive compliments about you. Like you're so beautiful on the inside out. They compliment your clothing. I'm seeing the way you dress, the way you look, but also your heart and how kind you are, how genuine you are. Some people even say you're marriage material, and that's something I see. I feel like people just enjoy your energy. I feel like people can even sometimes get addicted to your energy because you're just, people literally feel like you're a celebration to be around. So what are my pile twos goddess qualities and traits? Justice. Your goddess quality and traits is your ability to speak your truth, your ability to see truth, because I also feel you're very intuitive. And I feel like you're a no BS detective. And it's like, if someone had to lie to you, you would know. And I also feel like if I had to be your friend, I would ask you about people like, should I trust this person? And you tell me the truth. You know, I don't know. I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing like this type of energy where you have a lot of Venusian beauty to you with the Empress here. But also it's like this type of beauty of finding your self-love again, finding growth within yourself and being happy with yourself and how far you have come. And it's like, that's what makes you a goddess. Just admiring yourself for the things you've not only gone through, survived, healed within yourself, but still, it's like you've gone through things, but you're still this loving person. You've gone through things, but you're still this gentle person. And that takes a lot of power and strength. And that's what makes you a goddess, but also how fair and balanced you are. I feel like you wouldn't do things to others that is just not fair. And I read a quote somewhere that sometimes things can happen, or I watched a reel Sometimes things can happen to us and people hurt us. We have a choice in that matter. We have a choice to become like them, or we choose to never put that pain onto others because we know how it feels like. And I feel like that's what makes you a goddess, because you've had, maybe people do that to you, but you have this very generous, supportive, loving energy, and that's what makes you a goddess. We have the Six of Pentacles. You're literally so generous with the people you love. And if you could even see that, like how other people look at you, you would literally see that. That's something I see. So I just want to get any lost cards about the type of goddess you would be. So the type of goddess my pile number 2s would be, please. Like I said, self-love, self-care, teaching people to love themselves, teaching people to see the things in themselves that they may not necessarily see. That magical type of quality, I feel like you'd create unicorns all over the world, flowers, fairies, mermaids. We have the Well card. I feel like you'd be the type of goddess that people would do deep research on, that would have a lot of deep stories, like where I'm binge watching YouTube videos about you to understand you more. Like that's the type of goddess you would be, and like that would have really deep stories that teach people things about the deeper parts of themselves and understand themselves on a deeper level. So that's something I see. The Three of Pentacles, you'd be the type of goddess, if you were one, you would literally plan things for people and show them things about themselves, like I said before with the Four of Cups, like messages about themselves that helps them find that self-love, that helps them find that self-worth, that helps them find peace of mind in difficult moments. I feel like you'd be that gentle strength warrior kind of goddess that would share that with people, messages that are uplifting and healing, but also messages that help them find peace even in difficult situations. So that's something I see. Just like a very supportive, loving energy. I'm even getting goosebumps. I feel like you'd even be the type of goddess that would be at marriages and be at like events and parties and things like that, and just make the whole room full of joy. And like, I don't know why I'm seeing this. Like, I'm seeing if people were drunk at places, it's like you'd put fairies there and you'd be very, not witty like in a bad way, but like you'd put fairies there and it would be like a little giggle for you, or like that type of energy. Or um I'm just feeling like this fun energy, like you'd maybe even put fairies around where children play, because the Four of Wands is reminding me of fun, like it doesn't just have to be that, but like maybe even in places where people have a lot of fun. I'm trying to think, like places people go on holidays, um, things like that. Like I feel like you'd be at weddings, you'd be at children's places and show them all the fairies and things like that. I hope that makes sense. So, what type of goddess would my pile twos be if there had to be one? The Seven of Swords. You'd show people maybe the negative thoughts or the ugly thoughts we have about ourselves that aren't true. And it's like we shouldn't be telling ourselves these things. We should treat ourselves better. I feel like you'd be that type of goddess that would have people that learn from you as like a mentor, and they would literally, maybe say something wrong about themselves, and then you'd be honest and be like, don't say that. Like, you shouldn't say that about yourself. You teach people to nurture that part of themselves that needs love, with the Five of Pentacles, that always needed and required that love. So this is what I see in your reading, my pile number twos. I think your goddess energy is very different from the other piles, but it's like your own essence and energy, if that makes sense. And I feel like it's you. I don't even feel like you compare to any other goddesses. I feel like it's just you, it's your own essence, your own energy as its own. You know what I mean? So this is what I see in your reading. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number threes. If you chose this honey calcite crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the goddess qualities you embody. So in this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at the goddesses you have similarities to in your energetic frequency, but also the traits and qualities you have that make you a goddess, what makes you a goddess, okay? And then I'm also going to be looking at if you were a goddess, what type of goddess would you be? So the energies may be a little bit mixed together, but I'm gonna do it one by one. Okay, so this is just a fun, light-hearted reading. You chose the card Ashun with Fearless Love. If I'm pronouncing her name wrong, please correct me in the comments. But I'm going to tell you what I see here in a moment. I just want to pull some more oracle cards and see what else shows up. So I'm hearing the song by Kid Cudi, Frequency, right off the bat as I connect to your energy. I just feel like your energy is just very high vibrational because he talks in the song about like this trippy energy. You know, your energy may be this energy that makes people almost like trip out in a way. I was not intending to get a message like this, but you know, the song talks about shrooms, you know, mushrooms, magic mushrooms. So you could have that type of energy in people that awakens people because what I know from them, they have medicinal properties of like healing, and they bring people healing, but they also bring people awakenings and bring people closer to their guides and the spiritual realms. But also, you know, a lot of people have fun on it and they see the magical side of things. So I feel like you maybe have that quality on people that almost makes them feel like they are on some kind of substance, but they're not really. I feel like it's just your energy and your frequency that is so high vibrational that makes people feel like they are in another reality, if that makes sense. So, spirit guides on my pile number threes, may I please connect to what makes them a goddess, the goddess qualities that they embody. We have positivity. I feel like as I'm connecting to your energy, I'm looking at this woman and she's smiling ear to ear. That's a type of energy I feel you give people, and you are. And it's like, it's literally that. I feel like you're this ball of sunshine energy that makes people just feel like, okay, we're not even on a reality on Earth anymore. Not even just like pile two's energy, like pile two's energy. I was picking up on magical energies like the Fae and things like that, and mermaids. But in your energy, I more so feel like we're not even on Earth. We're somewhere else in the space, in the stars. And we're just smiling ear to ear, if that makes sense. And that's how your energy makes people feel. And that's literally what makes you a goddess, because you spread positivity everywhere you go. You have no idea how much your smile, how much your energy lights up the room. And I feel with this peacock energy here, you're someone that literally stands out. Literally. And with all the gold here as the water fountains, I feel like you have this inner richness of abundance within your soul, an abundance of love to give to others, an abundance of positivity to give to others, an abundance of joy to give to others. Something just fell in my room. Are your spirit guides active here? Like, I don't know. That's the feeling I'm getting from you. I also feel with this mirror here, you have this self-love energy and you love fearlessly as per the card's name. And that's what also makes you a goddess, because I feel like you see the light within others, maybe they don't even see within themselves. And if you knew the effect you had on people, like, I'm sure they even call you a goddess behind your back, in a nice way. So that's something I feel here from your energy. So my pile three's goddess energies, please. What makes my pile three a goddess? What are the goddess qualities they embody? We have surrender to the sweetness with Venus energy, pleasure, joy, and make love to life. Venus energy. And we have so much love here. So I feel like you would definitely be a love goddess because we have so much love energies here. But also with Venus energy, like I said, you embody the state of self-love, but also fearless love for others. I feel like what makes you a goddess is how you love fearlessly. You're just open to giving everyone love. And I feel like sometimes you've been misunderstood, where you're a really unique person and you stand in your uniqueness, and that's what makes you beautiful. It's what makes you a goddess. And I just feel like maybe sometimes people, I don't know like what it is, but your energy is just so beautiful that I don't know why they would even misunderstand you. Because I feel like I just get your energy, if that makes sense. And I feel like you're very unique in your own essence. And yeah, that's something I see here. So pile three, what makes them a goddess? What energies are they similar to in terms of their goddess qualities? Like what goddesses are they similar to on an energetic level? We have White Tara with sensitivity. This card came out in pile one, and this is a goddess of healing. So you could have, an energetic frequency that is like a healing goddess, if that makes sense. We have Arakura, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. I feel like what makes you a goddess, my pile number threes, is your sensitivity that is your superpower and strength. Because you feel things on such a deep level, that's why it brings people into the state of like where I said we're somewhere else, because I feel like you feel things not only on a deep level, but you also feel feelings like joy, positivity on a deep level. And maybe that's why others have misunderstood you, because it's like you are meant to show people something different on earth. Because I feel a lot of people on earth have cut themselves off to their own feelings, have shut themselves off to their own feelings. But even the bad feelings are feelings we learn lessons from and we grow from. And I feel like you have done exactly that. And that's what makes you a goddess. It's because you are able to connect with your emotions on a deep level, not only the bad feelings, and learn from them. Like different feelings teach us different things. And, some people are scared of feeling their feelings because it's uncomfortable, but it teaches us something greatly and it heals us with all the lotus flower energy here. And with White Tara, she is very, very healing energy, And I just feel like you give off that energy, and that's what makes you a goddess. The lotus flower starts off as a seed in the mud and it grows into the water and it blooms into this beautiful lotus flower. And I feel like that's you. Maybe you've gone through the deep, dark depths of the earth and seen, pain, seen the emotions that are uncomfortable, but you have this gentle strength within you where you're able to tackle any feeling or emotion, and maybe not even tackle it, but try to understand it and try to send it love. And I feel like your energy is just very healing because of that. And that's something I see. And you have been someone that has blossomed and bloomed over and over and over again into the best version of yourself. You are giving me very much like Psyche energy, goddess of the soul. Yeah, I literally feel that. I literally feel that goddess of the soul energy. And she's also a butterfly goddess. Butterflies are representations of transformation. I feel like you have been someone that has always transformed yourself in terms of your emotions, and you live an emotionally rich life, and that's what makes you a goddess, because you feel everything on a deep level: happiness, joy, sadness, grief, anger, and you take that and you learn from it and you send that emotion, love, and that's what makes you a goddess, because you have no idea how you do that to others as well. I feel like when others speak to you, it feels like you really understand them on a deep level. You really bring peace to those around you. And I just feel like your positivity is endless. Your joy is endless, the joy you bring others. I'm also seeing a lot of children just love you. And people just love you in general because you're so, so, so sweet and compassionate. Like, I feel like you've given people words of wisdom from experiencing your own pain, and you have no idea how it's helped them heal things within themselves. And that's what makes you a goddess. You are a healing goddess like this. Okay, I'm gonna research her and see what shows up and see if I can see anything about her. So she's from the Celtic traditions, I think, and she seems to have been a goddess of the underworld and also prosperity. Her consort was Dispater, who accompanies her in inscriptions, a statue, and magic spells, the goddess of magic and the underworld. That's so interesting, and I feel like you do have that magical energy, but it's not the underworld that is scary. It's more so the underworld of emotions, just how, like I explained, the lotus flower, how it starts off as a seed in the mud. And I feel like if you had to be a goddess, you would be a goddess of like flowers, of a lotus flower, or flowers that bloom, or flowers that would grow in places you would not expect, like those gentle but strong flowers, if that makes sense. I feel like that quote, that quote that's like, when you throw dirt on my name, I grow flowers. I feel like you'd be that type of goddess, or that type of goddess that blooms through places that you wouldn't expect, like a rose growing in concrete. I feel like you'd be that type of goddess, and you'd show that within people, like how to overcome those feelings and heal from it, but bloom in the most beautiful way as you go through that, and find the abundance in your soul from the wisdom you find from that, but also from the love you give yourself, that heals you, because love is healing. And I feel like that's the type of goddess you'd be. But you also, that's literally what makes you a goddess. I also feel like you have a really strong purpose in this lifetime. And maybe you're not meant to be understood by those that don't try to understand you. Maybe they don't understand you because they don't connect to your energy frequency. And it's like that saying, what is it? I feel like you're an acquired taste. Like, okay, if you're not my cup of tea, like, okay, go elsewhere. Like that type of energy, because the people that will like this cup of tea will really appreciate it. And I feel like you'd be a sweet cup of tea that people would drink when they're sad. I don't know why I'm picking up on that. But we even see lotus flowers here, so that's quite interesting. I feel like if you were a goddess, one of your symbols would be lotus flowers and mirrors, like enchanted mirrors as self-love, but also abundance, but not like physical material abundance, but like the abundance we find in our soul. So that's something I see here, because I feel like you are finding that within your own soul. And I feel like you are easily able to recognize the gold within people that they don't even see, the diamonds within people they don't even see. And that's what makes you a goddess. I feel like you've said to people, hey, I really think you're good at this. You have this talent, and this is what makes you shine, or this is what you're talented at. This is what you should create. And it's like that kind of energy, you get what I mean? You show people the things about themselves that they can't even see, and that's something I see here. And that's what makes you a goddess, but also the way you love fearlessly, the way you feel fearlessly, and that is you just feeling the abundance of emotions that Earth has and what it's like to be a human. And I feel like your humanity makes you a goddess, if that makes sense. Because when we feel things and we feel the full spectrum of life, we feel joy, we feel comfort, we feel anger, sadness, all of that, but we learn from it and we find the gold from it, in the wisdom we find from it. And when we create something different, we also find the gold from it. Because let's say I was hurt by someone, but I'm going to choose to create something different and treat someone else differently than the way I was treated. I'm basically creating something different to the pattern that was already on Earth. And I feel like you have that quality within you, and that's what also makes you a goddess. I feel like you have no idea how much pleasure, joy, sweetness, love you give to everyone. And I feel like you'd be a goddess of love, but also magic, but also this kind of prosperity of the soul, if that makes sense, but also like self-love and loving fearlessly, feeling fearlessly. So that's what I see here. I'm going to pull some more cards and get any other information your spirit guides have. Your energy just feels so luscious, soft, silky, Venusian, like literally, and that's what makes you a goddess. So spirit guides of my pile threes. What makes my pile threes a goddess? What are their goddess qualities and traits that they embody? We have the Ten of Cups. It's how you love. You make people feel like there's rainbows all around in the way that you love. And I just feel like a lot of babies and children and animals are drawn to you because of your soul, because your soul is so beautiful and it shines out here with the star card. I feel like you'd be literally, like how I said, a goddess of the soul, shining out to the whole world, showing the world how beautiful the soul is, if that makes sense. I'm researching her, and it says here that she is a goddess of love, sensuality, and femininity, and she is a river goddess, and one of her attributes is to bring forth sweet and fertile waters. I feel like you do have that watery energy, but also that sunshine energy, and like that gold and diamond expensive energy, if that makes sense. And I see also purity. I feel like you are a pure soul, but you also connect to love on a deep level, and your sensuality and fertility and your feminine energy. I'm feeling a lot of Venusian vibes from you as well. And I feel like you just shine out to the whole world, and that's what makes you a goddess. You have qualities within you that shine out that other people notice. And I feel like it's all these qualities and traits I mentioned that maybe you can't even fathom how people see it in you, just like how you see the abundance in them. We have the Hierophant card. I feel like with the Hierophant, it's learning lessons from our emotions, what I spoke about earlier, and that's what makes you a goddess. So what goddess qualities and traits does my pile 3 have? We have the Emperor. We have the Moon. I'm hearing that song, Relax, Take It Easy. I feel like what makes you a goddess is you have this very peaceful, serene energy to you. I feel like you just make me feel at peace, relaxed. I hope that makes sense, but like your energy, why are the cards doing this? Your energy just feels very serene, very peaceful, very hopeful. And I feel like you have this light within you that shines out to the world. Let me just fix this. I feel like you have this light within you that shines out to the world. And with the Moon card, I'm seeing like this energy of what makes you a goddess is you can be like the moon and go through your different phases and understand yourself and have deep compassion for your feelings and the different phases we go through in life, and that's what makes you a goddess. But you are like that to others too. And the moon energy is all about this kind of energy of our emotions, our intuition. I feel like you really connect deeply to your intuition, and that's what makes you a goddess. But also the star energy, like you have that light within you that shines out, that guides people through dark moments in their emotions. I feel like with the moon and the star, I feel like if you were to be a goddess, one of your symbol would be the moon and the stars, or you would be like a celestial goddess of the moon and the stars, like that type of celestial energy. And I feel like people would use celestite to connect with you. I don't know why I'm picking up on that, but that's something I see. I feel like your goddess energy would not just be like, I'm the moon. It would be like, I'm the moon, I'm the stars, and I'm the whole space. Like that type of energy. Some of you connect to starseed energy. That's something I see here. And I think it's just the way you love and the way you have so much light within you, the positivity you bring to the world. But you also have a connection to your feminine energy, but also your masculine energy with the Emperor. So you connect to both sides very easily. And that's what makes you a goddess, because you have this balance within you. And how I spoke about the moon phases, it's like you're comfortable with each and every part of yourself, each and every emotion, and that's what makes you a goddess. It's this gentle strength you have. We have the strength card. Yes. So, we have the Queen of Cups. I feel like your goddess energy, your goddess quality and trait is that of you connecting to people on a very deep emotional level. I feel like you can really connect to people and understand them and see things in them they may not even see within themselves. See the beauty within them they may not even see within themselves. Your energy feels very soft, gentle, but rich, like, and smooth and silky, if that makes sense. Your energy also feels very much like ethereal and celestial, and that's what makes you a goddess. It's your heart, it's your ability to love, it's your ability to connect, it's your ability to really listen. Sometimes Queen of Cups energy is also about listening and being there and holding space and supporting. And I feel like you've been that to so many people. And if you could see the way they think about you, you would literally think of yourself as a goddess. That's something I see here. And we have the Three of Cups. So what makes you a goddess is your very supportive energy. I feel like a lot of people want to be your friend, and a lot of people want to be around you because of your energy, and you have no idea. Literally. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Sun card. So I feel like if you were a goddess, there's something about you granting people wishes or granting people healing, giving people abundance, but also helping them find the diamonds within them, within their soul, help them find good luck. I feel like what makes you a goddess is like this sunshine energy, like I said before. So, if my pile number 3s were a goddess, what type of goddess would they be? If my pile 3s were a goddess, we have the Five of Cups. I feel like I'm seeing an image of someone crying, and here comes this beautiful, heavenly, divine, celestial goddess, and is like comforting them, like almost like fairy godmother energy, and is like, it's okay. And then I'm seeing like so much light around you, and I just feel at peace in your presence, and I just feel like, am I looking up at an angel? Like, what is going on? Like, I just feel like you have that energy and you have that effect on people. And I feel if you were a goddess, you would be one of those goddesses that come to comfort people when they're going through the deep darks of sadness and waves of emotions and things like that. We have the Five of Swords. I'm even seeing some of you would have like this mermaidy energy if you were a goddess, and it would feel very surreal and celestial and ethereal in some way. Like, I really like your energy. With the Five of Swords, especially people that have gone through betrayals in their life, or maybe people that have had people around them that haven't seen their worth, and it's like, I'm seeing you'd almost protect them and be like, no, these are my babies. Like, get away from my babies. You're not gonna hurt my babies. Like, that kind of energy. Like, it's really cute and sweet. We have the Two of Wands. So I feel like, like I said, watching over and protecting, because look at this man, like, looking here. I feel that energy. Like, you'd watch over and protect people, especially if they're healing from something and they have people around them that aren't really seeing them, aren't really loving them the way they're supposed to be loved. I feel like that's the type of goddess you would be. And I'm hearing that song, that boy's a layer, the boy's a layer, he doesn't see ya. So you literally keep them away from people like that. I feel like you would be a love goddess that brings people the right type of love, but also brings people self-love after moments of not seeing their own light, after having like people around that don't truly see them, and showing them the beauty inside themselves, getting them to that frequency of self-love, and then bringing them the relationship that would make them the most happiest, that would make them feel like magic is alive in their world. And that's the type of goddess you would be. But then you'd also help them heal from their emotions and see themselves as the star they are, and see their own internal strength. And that's something I see here. So what type of goddess would my pile threes be if they were a goddess? We have the Nine of Pentacles. Like I said earlier, I feel like you would be the type of goddess that would bring people wealth, bring people not just wealth, but show them the qualities, the talents within them, the gifts within them that are like diamonds within their soul, that are begging to shine out to the world, that bring them eternal abundance, but not just physical, material abundance, like an abundance of the soul, an abundance of joy. You know, I feel like you'd even be a type of goddess that would bring fertile lands, like would bring plants to people, and grow fruits and things like that, like delicious fruits, because Venus energy is also about that delicious energy, if that makes sense. And you'd bring people, you know, the things they've been really working for as blessings. But you'd show them the blessing within themselves too. The blessing that they are just being here on earth. I feel like that's the type of goddess you'd be. But you'd also bring people a lot of pleasure and joy. And it's not just like, oh, I'm sending you a love partner that will bring you pleasure. Like, it's not like that. It's more so, oh, you're sad, I'm going to send you a video on your phone energetically that makes you laugh. Like that type of energy. Or, oh, you're sad, someone's gonna buy you an ice cream today and it's gonna cheer you up. Like that type of energy. That's the type of goddess you would be. That's what I feel there. What type of goddess would my pile number threes be? We have the Ace of Cups with the lotus flower here. I love that. I feel like you'd bring relationships and friendships to people, bring people back to their soul family. Like, I feel like you would be a love goddess for sure. Like, love, 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 everything about love and healing and beauty And I feel like you bring people back to their soul family, to their twin flames, to their soulmates. And it's like I'm seeing someone almost be like Cupid and bring two people together that would work really well together, but it will also bring each other happiness, help each other grow to the best possible capability. I'm feeling like you'd even be a goddess to people that wouldn't even worship you. You just help people on earth if you were a goddess. We have the Three of Wands, so you'd even show people like their path where they're meant to go. Give them advice, give them healing that helps them on their path, or bring things along their path that make them happy and make them joyous and remind them of why they're special and loved and things like that. I feel like that's the type of goddess you would be. So this was your reading, my pile number threes. I really hope that this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!